he's gonna come down and get in the video too. I reckon this is how we're gonna start this video. It's Rosie and my wife and me.
Hey everyone.
Hey everybody. We're gonna bring you a little bit different video today. Really don't even know how I want to get into this one. We got to do something today that is pretty spectacular. Did a pine straw job for a friend of mine, and he's having a class reunion Saturday. I know the guy, he knows me, doesn't live very far from me, but I didn't know he had bought a particular house. A house that was very old, and he's fixing it up. I used to rabbit hunt the fields around this house when I was 15 years old. So I'm very familiar with the land. But he called me about 2 weeks ago and asked me about doing pine straw for the event he wanted. He wanted everything to look nice. So me and my wife Donita, we rode up there. And actually my jaw was still on the ground because I never knew, it was growed up when we rabbit hunt. I never knew what was there. And what was there is a log cabin in the 1800s, a couple sheds from the 1800s, and an old house I never knew was there. I mean, I thought he moved the house there. Now I'm talking about a piece of property that I probably hunted 20 times in my life. So it was a shock to me knowing that when he cleaned up around the whole area that it was even there. But the jaw-dropping experience is, what's the word, refurbished?
Yeah, he refurbished.
Refurbished. He tore the house as you go in the driveway, which I actually need to go back up there and video going to the driveway. And I'm gonna back up a minute. The reason why I'm doing this video is it's so impressive to me that I really want to get this video right. I really want to do it justice. I didn't think he was gonna let me bring my camera and show things the way I got to do it this morning while we was doing the pine straw. So I really want to put forth an effort because of the effort they went into refurbishing these buildings, this house,
Cabins.
the cabin.
They were cabins back then.
The first bill I'm gonna bring you, and I'm gonna bring you this video probably Sunday. So I encourage, if you never watch another one, a video from me, watch this video. I mean, if you're into old stuff and period of times, I mean, the craftsmanship is spectacular. The first one was a tool shed that they redid. I don't know if it was a blacksmith, because I imagine in like a plantation home, they always had a blacksmith station. But they turned that into a, I want to say a log cabin, but it's a cabin. And inside is to the period, except for modern. He does have an outhouse and two of them on the end of the building, but he also has an updated toiletry. Did I say that right?
Yeah, sounds good enough.
Toiletry inside the cabin. That his stepson, when he got married, he spent his honeymoon night in that cabin.
It's like one big room.
It's one big room,
but it's sectioned off the kitchen, bedroom, living room.
And I told him he could rent that thing off like a
bed and breakfast.
Just experience to spend a night in a time that you only could see in films or read about in books or see pictures of it. That would be awesome. it's a shed there that they saved. And what I mean by saving, they actually had to cut new beams and try to dovetail it and stain it and look to a period where you put your animals and your hay. And he put a porch out the front of it where he's got a picnic tables. And that's probably the least of the buildings that was time spent on, but it's still spectacular. The third building is a log cabin. And in that log cabin, the people that built, I guess it's a 3-story house, a Victorian type house. And he said today that 16 people live in that little cabin while they lived there, and maybe another building while they built the 3-story house. He told me that today, and you'll hear about it if you watch the video Sunday. But the cabin has actually moved about, I would say, 10 feet from where it was. And the old fireplace was falling down, but they preserved the rock and got a brick mason to come in there and lay the rock and built the chimney with the inside stove. And he's got all the metal work on the inside where he can swing a pot to the fire, and he's cooked in this fireplace. And I think he's got a pot belly stove in there when you would have cooked on back then, but he got a little old, look like an apartment stove in there. It's not to date, but people actually stay in that little log cabin on occasion, and they use that, and got a little dorm type little refrigerator in there. But
it's livable.
It's livable, and it's just something that as a kid I never knew was there, but as an adult that I appreciate things like that, and amount of time and money and effort went in to preserve all this is wild. And the house is the last building, in which it was about so far gone, it was a wooden house, that they actually went in there on that land that he had bought. The land he bought actually connected to his residence and land, and so now he's got a big tract of land. But they cut timber off of that, got the boards and stained it and prepared them, and refaced the house and redone the house. It's kind of like inside of a part of a log cabin with a little bit of modern extras in it, and he added a bathroom on the back of it. Now, folks, this bathtub was bigger than a standard truck. It was a boulder, and he had it sandblasted in the middle, smoothed around the edges, and made a tub out of this. And I asked him how in the world did he get the tub, because I knew the weight. They actually set the tub and then built around it.
They added
And that's
on the
probably,
because it didn't have one.
yeah, they added a bathroom in that house because they didn't have one back in that time. It was probably an outhouse. But he added a bathroom and a shower to this house, and it's just something to behold. And he let me take my camera in and film it the day after he showed it to us when I looked at the job, but the guys that helped me had his crew, and he let me bring them in there because they from where they're from, you don't see this, and they got the experience. And he's I thought I was gonna put the video on today, or spend some time and do it tomorrow, but he asked me not to show it until Sunday because he wants his classmates to experience. He don't want nobody to see it until they see it. Because I didn't know it was there, and I'm live by southern saying, by the crow flies, less than 3 miles this direction is where the house sits. So if I didn't know it was there, never heard about it, never knew he was remodeling or refurbishing these old cabins and old house, not many people did, unless you worked in it or did work for him. But he told me after Saturday night I could show it, and be glad for me to show it. So this is what this video is about. So, anything you want to add? I brought her down here to talk, and I ain't let her talk, so I don't know what the heck I brought her down here for. But was you blown away when you seen it?
Oh my gosh. It's like going to a place like Pigeon Forge. It's like where they preserve these places, and you can tour them, but they are only kind of set up to look at. They are not functional. This here was amazing because it's functional. You can stay in them, you could live in them, cook in them, heat, air.
You would pay money to spend a night here and try to get back on the list to spend another night there sometimes. I mean, I hope my video is going to do it justice. I really want to go back up there and show the driveway going back in there. It's nothing spectacular, but as a kid, I know what it looked like. It was farmlands. I farmed land. As you go down the driveway, it was a field on this side and a field on this side, and it was. Once you got out of the field, it wasn't up but yellow jacket and briars. And as a kid that rabbit hunted, and that's what we did back then, it was prime territory for rabbit hunting. But I guess I just didn't know what was there. And like I said, 99% of the people wouldn't have thought anything about that.
Well, back at your age and time, if you'd have saw it, it wouldn't have been anything to you because you had been 15 years old.
It was just an old barn that needed tore down,
Yeah.
or old shed that needed tore down, or old.
Wouldn't appreciated it.
Wasn't appreciated. And back then, a lot of people that had those buildings, they would put plyboard or some other kind of facing
Use them as storage.
over, and you wouldn't know that was log cabins behind it. But I think you get a gist of what the video is going to be Sunday. If you watch it, what I encourage you to watch it, share it. Not just for me and my channel. Share it with somebody, an older person that appreciate that sort of thing. And I love for it to get out and for other people to see it and it get blown away as I am. Maybe when you watch it, you're gonna say, well, I don't know what the heck he was talking about. It ain't that. You may feel that way. But to me, in knowing the time and the effort and the money and the blood and the sweat and yes, tears that went into bringing it back to what it is right now, is something worth watching. So I hope you watch it. I hope you share it. Hope you comment. But I don't think the weather's going to be. I was hoping to get in the wood yard tomorrow. But if the headaches don't go away, I doubt if I'm going to be in the wood yard. But stay tuned for Sunday. And I hope you enjoy it.
Like and subscribe.
And Rosie says watch it. Hope y'all have a good evening, folks. This is Rec Outdoors.